Hey guys, and welcome to the very first installment of How to Speak, Read, and Write Japanese, or Nihongo. Alright, in this episode we will be talking about the basics of Japanese, in which we will be discussing the writing systems, the pronunciation, and how to write the two main writing systems that I will be talking about today. So let's go ahead and get into it. So Japanese has three main writing systems: Hiragana, Katakana, and Kanji. And here is the word in its respective writing system. So this is what the Hiragana alphabet looks like. Hiragana is mostly used for pronunciation and teaching new people how to pronounce and write in Japanese. It is used for grammar and particles, for function words, for verb conjugation, and for sentence endings. It is very rarely used in everyday Japanese as nouns or verbs. Those are mostly used by the kanji, which I will talk about in a moment. Hiragana is mostly used for grammar's sake. Next is katakana. This is the katakana chart. It is exactly the same as the hiragana chart because it has the exact same sounds. The only difference is that the characters are written slightly different. Why? So that they can make a distinction between foreign words and borrowed words and between their own words. So, this is used for foreign or borrowed words like computer or terebi, which is computer and television, respectively, for foreign names such as Maya, for onomatopoeia, and also for advertisement purposes. Why? Because people in advertisement believe that this is much more eye-catching. That is really the only reason. It's not always used in advertisement, but it is very often used that way. Last, we have kanji. Now, this is just a small list of beginning kanji that you would learn in elementary school. Kanji literally translates to Chinese characters. These are the characters that were brought over from China to Japan and were the first characters used for the language. As the language changed from Chinese to Japanese, they had some other grammar structures and words that they could not express in the Chinese characters, which is why they created the Hiragana chart. And then when they had more foreign involvement is when they created the Katakana chart. So these kanji represent words and ideas, and they are the main writing system. They are prevalent in books, in signs, newspapers, anything in Japanese that you will read from Japan directly will be about 90% kanji and 9% hiragana and a teeny tiny 1% of katakana. Now on to the pronunciation of Japanese. Japanese has 5 main sounds, and these sounds are the vowels. They have a, as in saw, e, as in bee, u, as in who, e, as in end, and o, as in old. With the exception of one character, which is n, all of the other characters in Japanese are made up of one consonant and one of these 5 main sounds. Again, this is the hiragana chart. It goes by rows of the vowels and columns of the consonants. And yes, Prezi, I know we are in full screen. You can go back to doing whatever you were doing. So these are the hiragana characters: a, i, u, e, o, and then it goes into the column of ka. with a K sound, going ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. And then to sa, shi, su, se, so. Now if you noticed, she is not si, it is she, because si does not exist in phonetically in Japan. So they use she. Then there's the T line, which is ta. Again, there's no T in Japanese. They say chi with a CH sound. There's no tu sound in Japanese, so they use tsu, like tsunami. We have this word in America, so it shouldn't be too difficult to pronounce, but it may cause some difficulty. It is tsu, with a little break at the top. And then te and to. It does not pronounce tu because there is no sound tu in Japanese. It is pronounced to. Next is the na line, where it's na, ni, nu, ne, and no. Next is the ha line. Ha, hi, hu, not who. It's with a F sound. It's not fu, it is halfway between, where your teeth do not touch your bottom lip like an F does. It is about halfway. It's very breathy. It is hu, he, ho. Then there is ma, mi, mu, me, mo. There is ya. There is no yi. It does not exist. There's you. There's no ye. That does not exist. And there is yo. Next, the R line is a little bit tricky because Japan doesn't have an R sound. They have a sound that is very similar to if you roll your R's only once. So instead of being ra, it is ra. Now this is sort of a combination between an R and an L, which is why a lot of Japanese people have a hard time making a distinction between R's and L's. For example, Japanese people, they may say lollipop or they may say raripop because they cannot hear that distinction between the R and the L, because their sound is in between it. It is ra, ri, ru, re, ro. Now, the R line is difficult to get a hang of, and it might take some time for you to be able to pronounce it exactly. When in doubt, if you can't pronounce it with the ra, ri, ru, re, ro, with the roll, pronounce it with the R at first, but try to do the ra, ri, ru, re, ro sound. Next is a W. Now, W only has 2 characters because we, wu, and we does not exist in Japanese. They have wa and they have wo. Now, wo is actually no longer pronounced this way. It is pronounced the exact same way as o. It is just o. And this character is only ever used for grammar purposes, in no other situation. And then you have n. You pronounce it like you would pronounce the sound that the letter N makes. N makes a n sound, and this is pronounced n. And that is the basic hiragana chart. Now, what you can do afterwards, and what is done, is Japanese, in order to create more consonant sounds without creating more characters, they add these things called ten-ten, which are the 2 little lines. Now I may be branching out a little bit too far, and it may be confusing to you guys now, but this is how Japanese goes. And it is much easier to get the hang of than you would think. So if you look at this character, it looks very similar to ka. That's because it is the same character. If you take ka, add the ten-ten, you get a G sound. So you get ga, gi, gu, ge, go, as opposed to ka, ki, ku, ke, ko. The same goes for the S, which is turned into a Z sound. So instead of sa, shi, su, se, so, it is za, ji, because there is no ji sound. Za, zi, there's no Z sound, there's only G. So za, ji, zu, ze, zo. T is turned into a D sound. So instead of ta, chi, tsu, te, to, it is da, ji, because there is no D sound. Zu is the same as that one. De and do, because there is no do sound. There's only zu. H is turned into a B sound. So instead of ha, hi, hu, he, ho, it is ba, bi, bu, be, bo. One extra trick is that they take the same H line, add a small circle, and it becomes a P sound, and turns into pa, pi, pu, pe, po. Another extra bit, now stay with me here, another extra bit is that the Y line, yes, Prezi, thank you, you can go now. The Y line is special in the fact that if you take any of the Y characters, make them smaller, and add them to any consonant-vowel combination in the E row, you can create a new sound. So instead of ki, you add a ya, and you can create kya. And you can create q and kyo by adding the respective yu, yo. The same goes with all of the 10-10 and all of the circle added vowels, creating kya, gya, sha, ja, cha, nya, hya, bya, pya, mya, and rya. How is this different? Well, instead of saying ka, it's kya, ki, ya, just together. The E in the ki is swallowed and replaced with a ya, kya, k, ya, kya, g, ya, sh, ya, j, ya, ch, ya, cha, ja, sha, gya, and kya. You will get the hang of this as you read it more, as you progress on with these videos that I'm creating, and as you write it out more. The last thing that we are going to do, and I'm actually going to put in a separate video, just so that neither video is too long, I'm going to show you how to write the hiragana and how to write the katakana. Now, there are 4 things that you need to remember when writing any character in Japanese. The stroke order is very important. The stroke order is in what order you create the strokes. And these are the individual strokes. Like this is one stroke and this is another stroke. Now the order of which you do that and the direction of which you start in is very important. It's more so important in kanji because this helps you to be able to find the kanji if you don't know what the kanji is. However, in hiragana and katakana, it is not as important, at least that's what I think. But it is still important to Japanese people, because if they see you writing it incorrectly, even though your character will look exactly the same, it will not be Japanese, and it'd actually be disrespectful because you are not taking the time to learn it the traditional way. And Japan is very heavy on tradition. Very heavy on tradition. So it is very important to remember the stroke order. Secondly, for hiragana and hiragana alone, there are 2 different writing styles. There is the printed style and there is the handwritten style. In the next video, when I show you how to write them, you will see what I mean by the printed style and the handwritten style. You will always write in the handwritten style. You will never write in the printed style. There are very few differences. They're inconsequential, very minuscule. They almost don't matter, but this is very important for Japanese because that is how you correctly write the language. Third, characters are always pronounced the same every single time. No exceptions. So if we go back here, ah is always pronounced ah. It's never pronounced anything else. Ka is always pronounced ka. Sa is always pronounced sa. There is no change in pronunciation, which does make it easier to read the language. much easier to read and learn the pronunciation as opposed to English, where the letter A can be pronounced many different times. In this case, the letter A is always pronounced ah, no matter what. So it makes it a little bit easier. And lastly, as I said before, Hiragana and Katakana are the same exact characters, the same sounds, they mean the same thing, and they can be combined the exact same way. The only difference is that they are written slightly different. For example, this is a na in Hiragana, and this is a na in Katakana. Most of the characters are very similar, some are very different. You will need to know both of them, considering they use this a lot on street signs and stores and shops. And that is all you need to know about the basics of Japanese. That is all I will be saying in this video, at least. Next video, I will be showing you guys how to write the Hiragana and the Katakana, every single character, so it may be a little bit long, but try and bear with me. Thank you guys for watching. If there is anything you need clarification on, go ahead and tell me in the comments below and I will do my best. If I can't describe it in the comments, or if a lot of people are having problems with it, I will go ahead and make a video for you. Because I want to do this so that you guys can learn, and learn properly, and learn without being confused whatsoever, and so that you guys can have fun learning Japanese. Because I loved learning Japanese when I took it in high school. It was my favorite class. It was the best time I had ever had, and I hope that it is the same with you guys as well. Whether or not you're going to be using this in real life, or if you just want to learn it because you're curious about how to speak Japanese or about the culture. So thank you again for watching these videos, and stay tuned for the very next installment. I will see you guys later. Bye bye!